like it pulls something where it's like every episode I feel like I'm like checking out, and then the
And then
last like
something
10,
happens.
yeah, and then it just like completely shifts and it just becomes a like an insanely awesome show. But
Wait, seriously? You were checking out for that episode?
I just feel like the Saturday morning cartoon of it all just kind of like doesn't really hit me the greatest at times in that show. But and
Saturday
then
morning cartoon.
that's what it feels like to
Gotcha.
me, where it's like that vibe, like your early childhood kind of comics, TV, animated vibe.
Huh.
Danny
But then it
Phantom
does a
vibes.
crazy turn and becomes a
A
different
bunch
show.
of blood and guts
I
happening, and
guess
then you're
there's
like,
like
all
so
right.
much shit going on in that episode,
Got
I
it.
feel like, but
Yeah,
yeah, sure.
There is a lot going on. I just didn't
Hmm.
expect some deaths, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Holy fuck, dude!
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know.
Good show. But yeah, we are live. We are cooking.
Oh
with
shit!
Gas.
Wait, how long have we been live?
The last 30 minutes, Joe. So everything about your job, all this
Oh,
classified
oh
information.
my god! I'm going to jail.
Yeah, everybody knows everything.
Nah, probably not. I wouldn't go to
No,
jail.
this would be like a minute. But yeah, we back at it. Back at it with some Coens. Got Burn After Reading. Got A Serious Man. And the movie chest this week. Classic Weekend at Bernie's. So.
I think you guys who picked these past two, White Men Can't Jump and Weekend at Bernie's, you need a timeout.
I pick almost every movie chess movie. I don't know how I pick both of those. Like I don't know.
Find out.
I got the touch. I don't know.
Take a
like
break,
just
take a
take
break.
my votes away if you don't want it. Like,
Well, it was a wheel. End of the day, right?
It
White
was.
Man
It
Jump
was.
a
yeah,
wheel.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
true.
So it's like,
yeah. I'm pretty
face.
sure I had like 2 of the picks on the wheel though. I could be wrong,
yeah.
but like I think it was 2 of mine.
Yeah.
The wheel's always
Joe's
fun.
just
I like
rigging
when you
this
spin it.
fucking- Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Kind of
should we
not
just-
really a good sign usually.
Yeah, I mean, or it's a great sign we have like too many good movies to choose from.
Yeah.
It's all the
yeah.
good ones.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Listen, Weekend at Bernie's is a cult classic, my guy.
Yeah, that's a big. I mean, that's one of the biggest names in cult classic there is. I feel it, right? Everybody knows
It's up
Weekend
there.
at
It's
Bernie's.
like,
What do you think?
Yeah,
You want to
yes.
just get into that first and take care of it, or
Oh yeah, we're
Yeah.
partying
It
with
is
Bernie now. I didn't
So
pick
what did
this
everybody think?
one. I didn't
Yeah, I
want to
didn't
watch
pick
this
this either.
one, but here we are.
I hadn't seen it before.
Me
All
neither.
right, I
Me
thought I would
neither.
just like figure it out, like see what it was about. I don't know.
Yeah,
Was
I
it worth
watched it
it?
a while ago and didn't live up. Didn't live up to this. I don't know.
Yeah.
Wasn't as good as like my first watch through.
Oh, dude.
I got
I mean,
kind of bored.
I would not want to watch this more than once. I feel like.
Yeah. I was not
Like it
feeling
was
the
like
magic.
kind of entertaining on the first time through, but I feel like
Mhm.
it was kind of like dated. I feel like,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Yeah.
Good age.
I don't know. I also like kind of just like felt like there were a lot of things that probably took inspiration from this. Like I wrote down like Harold and Kumar or like
Mm.
Office Space maybe or like Workaholics. I feel like they're like at the start it's kind of a similar vibe because they're all in the office and it's like,
Yeah.
They're clearly like
dealing with like
outsiders of the office.
their
kinda,
day-to-day work life and they're kind of like just some fucking bros who are kind
some
of
clubs.
doing some weird shit in their free time. I don't know.
Yeah.
Trying to work
that's a
the
good
system a
connection.
little bit. Trying to get out there. Yeah. Get the free time.
Make a big break, get their name out there, make good
Yeah.
money.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. Even though like none of that has like any relevance at the end of the movie.
Yeah, it really
basically.
doesn't.
Yeah.
It really
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think where the
They
movie just
basically
falls
killed their
apart-
fucking boss. It's like kind of fucked up. I mean, they basically kill their boss and then just kind of just chill with him for the next like 2 days while they carry around his body.
That's it, baby.
That's a
That's
little
Weekend
more-
at Bernie's.
It's like it's
That's
I don't
pretty
know.
normal.
Yeah.
Pretty fuck. I mean, they almost stole from him until like they basically like couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Uh,
mean,
the-
I
the-
guess that's the biggest hurdle of the movie for me is just like I mean, like there's so much like legwork in the first half of this movie to make the premise work, and it's just like
Yeah.
over explaining everything and like
Mm.
to have like the two main dudes like have to argue back and forth about like calling the cops and like it's Like, yeah, because this
He did a
doesn't
lot.
work. Like, no one
Yeah.
like would do this. Like, you just have to like make arguments that
Dude, and like
aren't
even at the
real.
end, the fucking like the mob dude like even thinks that he's like just
He
staring him
could be
down.
alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shot him
I don't know.
6
It's
times.
just
in the
like
fucking
Jesus
chest.
Christ.
Like,
I don't know. Just what is going on? Like
yeah,
this is too much. Too many
Yeah.
shenanigans.
Yeah, and I know it's a comedy, but it falls apart when the whole premise is you have to believe that everyone's stupid enough to believe that he is alive still when he's
Yeah.
clearly just a corpse.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
That
Like,
I
first
get-
party scene, it's like really tries to like stretch your belief to like, because like
Yeah.
how many people can walk up and not get any response and be okay with
Yeah.
it?
And like
That'd
after
be
that,
like, hey,
with
something's
like
up with
how much
Bird.
shit that like goes through his like happens to his body, I feel like
Yeah.
his
Oh,
body
dude.
would start to be like kind of fucked up.
It'd be
he's
stinking.
looking pretty good at the
It'd
end.
be
Yeah, I know, because he's actually alive.
Secretly.
No, I mean like the fucking actor.
The
but
actor,
yeah,
that actor must have went through some shit though, man. Like,
Just, you
I
think it
was
was him or the
wondering-
stunt double?
well, I
Being
mean, stunt
ragdolled
double.
over.
The biggest one where, I mean, a lot of this doesn't seem like a dummy. Sometimes it does when he's getting like pulled in
Yeah.
the boat. But
Yeah.
like the hitting of the head on the deck, I was like, is that a dummy? Because if that's a person, I don't think that is like safe. Like,
Yeah.
Hey, it was the
But,
80s. They
yeah,
don't
I
give
mean,
a
yeah.
fuck.
Yeah, shit flies. The 80s.
make your paycheck on the day if you're a stunt guy, right? Fucking put your body on the line.
I guess as a stunt man, that's kind of like probably the more easier gigs, right? Hey, just act like a dead person. Just
dead.
be a rag
Yeah,
doll.
Yeah,
just
you
be
know?
limp.
Yeah.
right. Kurt Russell's character from
Death Proof.
yeah, Death Proof. I
Stuntman Mike.
couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, no, I guess my question for you guys, did you think this was funny at all? Like, did you laugh? Would you consider this a comedy, I guess? I mean, I know it's trying to be a comedy.
Yeah.
I know it's
Mhm.
trying to be a comedy, but was it successful?
There were
I
moments.
think, yeah, I'd say I laughed maybe like a third to a quarter of the time. I think like a lot of it was just dated for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was feeling. I think stuff just like sort of misses the mark nowadays.
Yeah.
I was
chuckled here and
thinking,
there.
like, it's almost written in a way that, like, I felt like I should be watching it on TV with, like, a laugh track. It's, like, so obvious
yeah.
and on the nose that it's, like, playing to something that's not there, you know? And it's,
I could see that.
the
Yeah, it
premise
kind
is
of
so
feels
heavy.
like like 80s sitcom almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like, it almost could have just, like, had a quick little rewrite and been a TV show or, like, a little movie on TV, but...
People just keep coming over, and Bernie's just dead the whole
He's
time.
always dead. He never come. And then at the season finale, you just wake. That's
Yeah.
the cliffhanger.
He's
for
so well
season two.
preserved.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, going into
Yeah,
the
no, I
ocean
didn't-
multiple times. That's I feel like that would do something to a body. But
You would think,
Yeah.
and hitting all those
Little bit.
buoys. I mean, I feel like maybe a little
maybe like
deformed.
Yeah,
his
that's what
hand
I
would
was
have like ripped
saying.
off from like being pulled for miles on a boat. You know? Or-
Yeah.
Yeah.
but,
Nah, now we're thinking too hard.
yeah, you really can't.
It's
And
just
I
a
think,
silly
like,
comedy, guys.
I think like when a
Yeah.
body, like I think when somebody dies, their body becomes like stiff.
Yeah.
I could be
rigor mortis,
wrong,
right?
but like because like
And they
his
shit
body is
themselves
limp,
and-
like yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
like he doesn't do any of that,
No, he's looking.
which meant
looking
he
pretty
was
fly.
alive the whole time.
That's,
see,
I think
what's-
the twist.
the big thing that I kept thinking about the whole time was when The Wolf of Wall Street starts and Jordan Belfort tells us every drug that he takes, and he is kicking and still alive today. And one shot of H in Bernie's ass and it kills him. Like, come on, he's not a real businessman. Fuck
Yeah,
off
we,
with
did,
that.
we didn't even see the
Wall
death
Street
of
pose.
Bernie. I feel like I wanted a little something with Bernie. I don't know.
So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
my only question is, what's Weekend at Bernie's 2 about?
There's a second
I
one.
didn't
There
even
is a
know.
Weekend. I'm pretty sure there's a Weekend at Bernie's 2. Yeah,
It's
let me
got to
Google
be
it.
No
a
way.
different Bernie, right? Or like
I mean,
No,
looking
there
at
are
all
two.
these actors who
Yeah,
played in this, they never really
1989
got
comedy
big.
sequel to. Oh shit! Never mind. Here, sorry. Let me just read for a sec. You can talk.
you say nobody
Yeah,
got
so-
big from this one.
Nobody really like looking at their filmography. There's no like hits. Like usually there's like maybe one, maybe two, but like I think that just speaks to the like I get this is a cult classic, but it's not good. I mean, it's just not a good
Yeah,
movie. It's not funny. None of the actors are really good or convincing in it. In fact, they're all quite annoying.
Yeah, they
I
get
think
pretty
Um,
annoying. Yeah,
Larry's like
tired.
doing some amount of work to make this like
he's trying so
fucking
hard.
work. Yeah, he's very
Yeah.
very hard.
Wow, this like second one seems like even more ridiculous. I guess like the two main characters go to a Manhattan morgue with the corpse, and then they
burn
kind of
his
just
corpse
like
still?
go with the thing where he's like their uncle still, so like the one dude can like basically steal his money and shit. And then there's a part in here. It says there's this voodoo queen who sends two servants to go to New York, get Bernie's body, and use voodoo to reanimate him.
What?
And I think I
fuck. In
should
the
just
movie
stop
chest.
reading there,
Okay,
right?
so
Like,
that answers my
we'll
question.
just we'll just tease it for next week, right? That's our next movie test.
Yeah,
That's the next
yeah.
one. That actually answers my question though. Of is this a Coke movie?
Mm,
I'm
It
gonna say
probably is.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
Probably,
yes on that
yeah.
one.
yeah.
Like there's certain 80s, 90s movies, you know, where it's just like the premise that's like it's just like how did that get made? And I feel like it's just people
Hackers.
doing coke in the back room, be like, dude, this is gonna
Not
fucking
done.
work. This is gonna fucking
Yeah.
What if he
work.
fled?
You think they're in the
And
back
nobody
room? They're
realizes
probably
it.
at the fucking the table, but like
They're
in the conference
they're in
room.
the writers' rooms. Okay, what
Doing
how,
lines
what are we
off the
doing
script.
next?
Yeah. Not reading lines.
Well, next, his girlfriend comes and bangs him. Says it's the best she's ever had. Like, oh, that's smart.
That's
I
where the
like
rigor
it.
mortis
That's
comes
smart. Jesus.
Hell yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I gave it a 3. I should probably
That's
go down to
crazy.
2.5. But
Yeah,
I
yeah,
wanna give
I
it
went down to a
2.5.
3.
yeah.
I'm
But
at 2.
2.5 is over
Yeah.
2. I think that's fair too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. It wasn't successful at being a comedy. I didn't laugh at all. Like there was, and in fact, I kept checking the time of like, is this almost
Mm.
over? Because it felt so long.
I did that
Yeah.
a few times.
Yeah, it was actually after watching this and Burn After Reading that I had texted Matt a couple days ago about how I'd been basically become super jaded on my movie tastes nowadays, and I think it's
Yeah.
in part due to the Coen brothers. But you know,
Really,
yeah, I don't know.
that's crazy because I think this 3 film run that we just completed here is like probably like they're peaking right now. Like this is
Holy
good.
shit!
For Coens?
I totally disagree.
That's crazy. No Country followed by Burn followed
No
by
Country
Serious
is
Man.
good. Burn After Reading.
This is a good
We
run.
can just go into Burn After Reading.
Yeah,
I
I mean
guess.
we're talking Coens now, right?
Yeah.
It is like 3 years in a row. It's like 07, 08, 09.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that they just made these all back to
Pumping them
back.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess Burn After Reading. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Seems like you hated it, Joe, for some reason.
I didn't hate it. I just I think my main gripes here. I'll just lay them all out. It's like from the like Coen brothers here. Like, how many times can you make your main theme nihilism and infidelity, or related
Every
to those
movie.
two concepts? It's literally every movie.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. I feel like since the 2000s hit, they've kind of just been making mediocre movies that are following those two concepts. And for this one specifically, I like hated all of the characters. And I know that they're supposed to be unlikable, but I don't
Yeah.
think any of them even had redeeming qualities to me.
Brad Pitt
I just didn't.
character.
I fucking
Yeah.
hated Brad Pitt. Like I didn't like
God.
any of the characters. They were all just like
Yeah.
and you know, because of how the movie is, that none of them are gonna have any growth as characters. So like, I don't know, it's just like not what I like or what I think is good. And
That's
like,
fair.
I don't know. I mean, in the key thing, I had messaged in the group chat, and basically when like I know that it's supposed to be goofy, and it's like, oh, like even if somebody caught that, they're like, oh, it's supposed to be goofy because he uses fucking car key. But like, it is not properly conveyed that the locks have changed to John Malkovich or the viewer if he uses his car key to say that the locks have been changed, because he didn't even use the right fucking key. So like, at that point, your plot point's not even getting properly conveyed to anyone. Like, because he didn't even know, because he didn't use the right key.
Right. So was the lock actually changed, or
That was what that scene was supposed to convey, that the locks had been changed. Yeah.
he was using the wrong key? So
He
I
was
don't
I
even
feel
know.
like
clear.
it's-
I sent the picture. You could look at it in our
Yeah.
group chat.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
a car
clearly
key.
a car key. Like, it's not a
I mean-
regular key.
Right.
I feel like it's got to be intentional, just because. I mean,
Oh, 100%. But like, it still like doesn't like it's totally like some zany shit. Like you know that like, but even so, like I feel like it just works to their
It's too far.
disadvantage instead of their advantage because it like messes up.
Reality.
It's like
Yeah.
misinformation. It's like
Yeah, basically.
yeah.
I don't know.
I get what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
No, the
So
only
those are
character
really
I thought
those are
was,
really
like,
my gripes with it. That's pretty much
likable
all I have to say.
were
I
to
thought
the
it was
point.
fine. I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
And
I thought Brad
everybody
Pitt's
else can talk
character-
about it now. I'm
Brad
done.
were you
Pitt
saying,
and
Noah?
I think Brad Pitt and Francis McDormand are like the two, at least like most relatable characters in this one. For me, Francis McDormand for sure is like super relatable.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think the more I just watch George Clooney too, the more I'm just surprised at how much I like everything he does. His character is so crazy
He's
in
really
this
good
one.
in this movie.
Yeah, yeah. He's fabricating that mechanism, that pleasure machine, and Francis's like reaction to that. So
It's
I was like,
incredible.
yeah, like what? No,
$100
Nice.
all in, except for the dildo, of course. They're
yeah.
expensive.
And I'm not. What is it? Like I'm not properly outfitted to mold or whatever. So,
Yeah, I mean, I can agree that none of them are very likable. My first watch through, I think I felt that a little bit more. This watch through, I just appreciated the such huge swings that each actor was taking in each of their characters. I was just like eating it up a little more. Like this watch, like Brad Pitt is fucking excellent in this movie.
He's
dude.
so fucking funny.
His
Yeah.
character is stupid as shit, but that's what makes like the performance and the character great, you know. But
When he's in the car with John Malkovich and he tells him it'll spin your head will spin faster than the wheels on your
Wheels on your
Schwinn. He's like, you think it's a Schwinn?
Yeah. He's such a fucking idiot, dude.
Oh,
And he's like
God.
channeling some like true
security.
romance energy, you know, like his earlier kind of idiot roles are coming back.
Yeah.
Here, so it's nice to see it. George Clooney is really, I think he's like the second best character in performance in this. Like everyone's like so selfishly minded, but that to me
Yeah,
it works
definitely.
together. Like he just gives like all he cares about is like catching a run. Like and I don't know,
Sex and catching a quick run.
hey, I can catch a quick run maybe.
Yeah.
Just going through the cast, I thought Malkovich was like really welcome and kind of like a necessary role in the movie. Like his wild side provides kind of like the backbone for what the zaniness can do in a weird way for like his acting and his character.
Mm-hmm.
Tilda Swinton mostly just playing to her strengths, and then Frances McDormand was the only character that didn't fully work for me this time.
Yeah.
I think the character works. I think maybe just the performance or like Frances McDormand didn't like fully nail it, or maybe somebody else could have like.
Yeah, I feel that.
I could see that.
I feel like she was like leaning too much into like Fargo-ish, like the way she was talking and kind of being sort of, I don't know, what's a ditzy, I guess is the word I'm
good word for
sort of looking for, where I think it could have just been kind of more detached from that role. But I did feel that this watch through specifically was that McDormand was kind of like the anchor that kind of drug it down a
I
little
guess
for me.
like if there's a weak link, performance-wise,
Yeah.
it might be that
Yeah.
one. Even though Tilda Swinton doesn't do much in this movie, but
she's like the most hateable character for me.
I'd say so.
It's like this woman is vile.
Cold was the line they could use twice.
Cold-hearted bitch or something like that. Do you think George Clooney's character, he came to that, like, this realization that maybe he's just into cold-hearted bitches, or?
I think he just, he's like relishing it all. Like he doesn't care, you know, like.
After she says it, directly after his wife said it, he was just kind of like, what? Hang on a minute. Yeah. That's good. No, I really like this watch through.
I did actually
watched-
like how the CIA like we're keeping tabs on all of these people, and they're just like trying to figure out the situation. I did actually kind of enjoy that.
JK,
The
What
the
did-
little
scenes with
line.
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah,
What did
that
we
was
learn
nice.
here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, me either.
So get back to me when I don't know when it makes sense.
When it makes sense. That line's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what did
no,
we learn- what
this
did we do? Like, isn't he asked like we just like what did we
Yeah.
do here?
That
even?
like sums up the movie to a T too, which is like really what it hit home for me. I was like, yeah, this movie, it's like a
Absolutely.
nothing movie. Nothing really happened. Nothing gets resolved.
Yeah.
But
none
that's
of the
kinda
like
why I
even
like
the
it.
conflict like amounted to anything. Like it's just
Yeah.
like
With
stupid
the Russians
like
and stuff, and
yeah,
yeah.
it's just they don't even care about the disc after a while because it's like not even an important disc.
Mhm.
Like that's Coen, like that's Coen brand, you know, is like the
Definitely.
miscommunication leading to like
All
violence
this
and
chaos.
confusion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so this one I think holds a pretty sweet spot in the catalog. Honestly, this watch through it amplified it for me as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because when you buy, like the first watch was very off-putting, so like I kind of get where you're coming
Mm.
from, Joe. Like when I first watched this, I was just like, I don't know about that one. Didn't like the turn it took. Obviously, halfway through, and that one like leaves quite a taste in your mouth, I'd say. But like after like coming back to it a few years later, it's just more fun and more like you're more on the ride. But
Yeah. I think also just like I've said it before, I think the Coens are just not
Now you're
they're
talking
like
to me.
not what I like to watch.
Yeah.
I don't think. Like there are some good movies in here, but like
Just wait till Buster
I don't
Scruggs.
know. I feel like to be honest, they've been making me depressed.
yeah, I mean,
So
there is
Yeah.
not a lot of growth in their movies. I don't think.
I mean it's all fucking I mean it's all nihilism. Like it's
Mm.
all fucking depressing. Like
The next one is the most depressing one, I think.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
I had a rough time watching that one for sure.
See,
Yeah.
are we slipping into the next one or?
sure.
I mean, I got
Yeah, well,
maybe
let's-
a few
oh,
more
Yeah. What else? What else?
comments.
Yeah.
I mean, the stupidity of the movie is obviously the highlight for Burn After Reading, but the dialogue, if you like listen to it or kind of like dissect the order that things happen, there's a lot of like subtle stupid moments with all the characters, especially with George Clooney. Just like when I
The
wrote
anaphylactic
down,
shock.
yeah, he's just like
Oh,
making
tough.
that shit up and like
Yeah.
eating
For no
shit
reason.
That's what-
after it.
Yeah.
That's
And
after
then-
eating the sushi.
No,
Okay.
no, no.
No.
He's like running. He gets like stopped by his wife or whatever, and he's like, "Has it been 5 miles?" She's like, "It's been 5.2." He's like, "Okay, well, if it's 5.2, that's fine as long as it's been 5 miles." It's like little intricacies of like how the
We could do
lines
5
play
and a
out.
deuce.
Yeah, 5 and a deuce. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And like the fucking roll he does when he's like getting the gun to like point it back on the dude he just shot in the fucking head. It's just like
Yeah.
that one's
So
a little
over the
more on the
top.
nose, but there's definitely like a lot of like subtle, dumb moments in this
Yeah.
that
Definitely.
elevate continuously throughout.
Yeah, the fact that they rip off the tag to the suit and that
Dude,
that becomes
he's got
like
nothing in his wallet. It's just like adds to the mystery, but it's also
Right.
perfectly
Like-
encapsulating of that character.
Yeah.
One of the funniest parts for me was when Brad Pitt was stretching out that guy. Something snapped. Something just snapped in my ass.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt just running on the treadmill, fucking like fist bumping and like fucking like.
When he's dancing
It's
in
a
the
little
car.
A lot of subtle things in this movie. Just like this is a comedy. Weekend at Bernie's did not make me laugh. That made me depressed. Going into this, nihilistic as these movies are, like even Serious Man, I laughed more in that than Weekend at Bernie's. Like this, in its own way, it's a very funny movie.
Yeah, for
But-
sure.
I think I probably did too.
Oh,
Yeah,
I just started getting angry at the main character in Serious Man. I was like, this
hold on.
guy.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll get there for sure.
But
For
yeah,
Burn
no,
After
I-
Reading though, like the sweet spot I'm talking about, I think it like this is really their only like political movie. You know, like they're trying a different like setting and a different like
This
approach.
is-
Like
Hail Caesar are pretty similar, I would say, in what they're trying to
Yeah.
convey.
I could see that. Yeah, a little bit. Like, yeah, it'd be a fun one to watch and compare for sure.
Mhm.
But it's just like, especially like the like push in from like outer space, like we're a satellite looking down on this situation. Like that to me, that reads like government watch, and like we're obviously in like a government scenario.
Mm.
I think it
DC.
played. yeah, it played like really well to their strengths instead of like I'm just like thinking like the man who wasn't there, where they're like trying to do their shtick, but the setting isn't really amplifying it. If that makes sense, you know, like it's just kind of it is what it is.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
point.
it really like melded well, and like I was thinking about if they even pushed harder into satire, like Doctor Strangelove, it might even yield like more results if they like went political
Yeah.
and went really for it, you know.
What really worked with this is the chaos of it all and the mismanagement of it all, and I think that goes hand in hand with our wonderful government. Yeah.
Yes, right. Like
I mean,
Bullshit.
the J.K. Simmons scenes alone, just that's like the epitome right there. Like, come back to me when it makes sense. Yeah.
they don't
This
even
is what they
know.
do as their job. Yeah.
And like all these people are dying. A man gets one of their own guys axes a guy in the street, and they're like, oh, so it's all cleaned up. He's in a coma. Cool. Like
Yeah.
close it.
If he wakes
Yeah,
up,
case
then, yeah,
closed.
we'll deal with it then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think it just works in this setting. That whole
It
concept and
does.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah. And then like the addition of like Brad Pitt is such like the wild card in the movie. Like, just the idea that he thinks blackmailing like a CIA agent is like a move is just like
Yeah.
hilarious.
Well, and he doesn't even like really know how to go about it too.
Yeah.
You know, he's so out of his depth that
Right.
it's like,
Right. I did notice.
shit.
I mean, they obviously do the Chekhov's gun with George Clooney pretty early on, where it's like, I'm a U.S. Marshal. I haven't fired my gun in 20 years of service. You know, like he keeps saying like he's never fired his gun.
Yeah.
Dude, that was fucking
And
wild.
it whips out at the moment. Yeah,
Hey.
it's yeah. It does
Like
foreshadow.
I
his
was
death.
not expecting that at all. But yeah.
Did you see
Wait,
the
when does
paint?
it for
It's
what is
only
it?
like
The
a
paint?
visual foreshadow. I noticed this time. It's the paint. Yeah, right on the
Yeah.
wall outside the gym. It's like white wall with like a bunch of like red pink paint, kind of like. And he's
Gotcha.
like
Saw that.
framed. It's yeah, that was the first time I noticed it, but it's
Yeah.
definitely
Saw
there.
that this watch through, and I was like, oh, it's coming.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, that's
Yeah.
kind of
That's
interesting.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what a wild turn, dude. And just like I mean, the Brad Pitt of it all is great to like lead you in, but then it obviously ends the scene with George Clooney like running down the stairs and like getting a knife and like wondering who the fuck is in his house or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Dumping a body straight in the bay.
the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, God.
Dude, and poor old Bob, man. Poor old Bob trying to like do
He's
something.
trying to get some
good.
ass.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
I think you do feel some of the Coens like going into their bag of tricks for this one a little bit with like the George Clooney being followed by a car. That was like Big Lebowski-esque, obviously, where it kind of comes in every once in a while and then he confronts the person at the car and it turns out it's not that related. But
Yeah, let me look
Yeah.
at my notes. I haven't actually because I did write down a lot of like connections to other Coen Brothers shit, I feel like.
And the final note I have is like this one moves really fast and doesn't overstay its welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Felt that this time for sure.
Yeah.
Great pace. Like,
Yeah.
this,
Really
I'm
short,
pretty
too.
sure this and Weekend at Bernie's are pretty close to the same length. And this is just a great exercise of how to pace your movie, and especially if it's a comedy about, silly bullshit.
Kind of
Like,
interesting. I actually gave both those movies the same rating.
my God, man.
Well, yeah, for Burn After Reading, I originally had it. I think when I first watched it, I gave it a 3, moved it up to 3.5, and I think I'm gonna give it a 4-star rating this time. Honestly,
Yeah,
one
I
of the
think I'm
better
at-
Coens.
I'm at like a 4.5. Every time I watch it, I just kind of enjoy it a little bit more. It's a fun movie. And
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
kept it.
I
I
like
kept
it.
it at a 4. I think it's just
4.
a solid one.
It's like when you compare it to the Coen's other shit. Like
Yeah, that's the
I've
big
been kind
thing.
of surprised at how much I kind of like don't really like some of their stuff we've watched already, where it's like
Yeah.
kind of like mid, and this one stands out a lot more as
Yeah.
something different.
Yeah, I've been
Definitely.
surprised by that too. I
It's
for some reason I was
interesting.
like, oh, Cohen's like they can do that going into
Yeah.
this. And now I'm realizing. Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of felt the opposite. I felt like this
Yeah.
was just like repeating a lot of the same shit that they've done before, and they just kind of mashed it up into like basically the same kind of story type.
Yeah.
I don't know,
I
where
can
it
see
kind of
that.
just like again, nihilism and infidelity are your main themes. Those kind of like motivate the characters, and it kind of just starts off with a miscommunication, which is like
Oh
most
yeah.
of their movies.
It kind of ends like Big Lebowski S2, where it's like a huge act of violence with the main characters that lead to like a death, and then just like characters at the end being like, well, now we're moving on, you know, like, which is, I don't know, that's kind of the Big Lebowski ending structure too.
I gave it a
It works
3.
for both.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I like it. It's maybe someday. I don't know.
Yeah, give it another chance down the
That
road.
day
maybe.
is not today.
Yeah. Well, let's move on then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next Coens. A
Yes.
serious
Another rewatch. A Serious Man. This is the one I was
Same.
looking forward to most
Same.
to rewatch.
I was most curious about this rewatch, I think. As
Yeah.
far as like if my quality threshold would change or whatnot.
Yeah, I hadn't actually seen this one, which I haven't seen most of the Coen Brothers shit. I feel like so. I guess that's not really a surprise.
Well, what did you guys think about this one?
This one, for me, man, this one, like I said, I was just getting like angry at this guy's like inability to take control of his life. I was just like, yeah, I was just getting frustrated.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
stupid.
It's a very frustrating movie to watch.
Yeah, and it was long. I just felt the runtime in it too. I was just like, by the time it ended, I was ready for it to be done. So, yeah, for me, this one was just didn't quite hit. But I don't know, Joe. You compared
feel
to Burn
that.
After Reading in your first watch. What do you think?
I liked this one better than Burn After Reading, but I also think that that's just because of my like. I think
Burn After Reading is pretty low.
I didn't grow up Jewish. I grew up Catholic, and I think that like the main theme of this movie is to like not always put your trust in God and put your trust in yourself sometimes.
Hmm.
And I don't know. I feel like that kind of really resonated with me as a person. So
Like the guilt of
I
it
kind of
all
liked
is
that.
pretty equivalent, kind of. I'm assuming, or like the church
guess-
guilt that's like looming in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But I guess the main question I think that at least I ask myself, it goes back to the nihilist thing. Does it any of it matter? I mean,
Yeah, I guess that's a
down
good
to-
point too. Because like even at the end, I was like thinking about it with the tornado and shit, and how he was gonna give back the $20, and then he just kind of like put in his headphone and like just like
is the
looked at
tornado
the
going to kill
tornado.
him? Is it not going to kill him? Does it
Exactly.
matter?
I also
Is
thought
him
like
erasing his grades?
I
Does
was
it
wondering
matter that
if
he's
like that
erasing
had
his
something
grades?
to do with like because like the scene before that is like the bar mitzvah where like he finally you finally see that one rabbi and he tells him like when you find out that the truth is a lie, it like kind of changes your perspective or whatever. And he like that's when he gave him back the headphones, and he's like listening to the headphones as the tornado is like coming. And I feel like that was like just like I don't know, this signify that I don't know. He like fuck it, don't give that back. Just fucking listen to your music. I guess.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
That's kind of the headphones part I took was like, this is the way that his son is basically drowning out all the noise that he's like the father's dealing with, kind of.
Yeah.
Like he's
I guess that's true.
evolved, or like his way of coping is just like a more modern way or something, you know, like that's what I took at least. But yeah, I totally can see what you're saying too.
Yeah.
What do you think, Matt, with this rewatch?
This one also amplified on my watch. I'm glad it did. It didn't boost it to like a 5-star movie for me because I kind of get all your guys' grapes with it, you know, still. But it's definitely nihilistic and depressing. It's the most depressing Coen Brothers movie. I guess to me, when I picture Coen and I'm like trying to rate their movies and talk about their movies, it's like the most fullest exploration of those themes almost, or like the most in-depth.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, it's them being very honest in this movie
I don't
in a
know.
way.
I would say The Man Who Wasn't There is like pretty high on my list. I don't know. I would say that's the one that sticks in my mind that could be more than this, or possibly Barton Fink. Those two I would say like are close.
More
But
depressing, you
Barton
said,
Fink,
or
yeah.
yeah, or
Yeah.
just like I don't know, more
Exposing the
nihilistic.
Coens,
Yes.
yeah, for
like what they really feel. Yeah, for sure. I imagine this is similar to their lives as Jewish people.
Yeah.
But
I
In the
assumed
Midwest.
they
Yeah.
were Jewish. Like
yeah,
they are.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
so
Yeah, no, actually, this watch through for myself, I think this is probably so No Country for Old Men is an original script. So excluding that one, this is probably their smartest and best written script, I would say, like original,
Hmm.
in my opinion. I mean, down to just little conversations of the whole question throughout is does it matter and is it important or whatever you want to, however you want to describe it. Like when he's having the conversation with the boy and the boy's like talking about mathematics and how, oh well, but you told this story, and he's like, well, the story doesn't matter, the maths matter, and he's like,
Mm-hmm.
well, then why do you tell the story? He's like, well, to help with it. So it's just you're always questioning what really does matter in the grand scheme of things. And then when he's confronted with his wife, he's like, I haven't done anything, and maybe that's the problem, right?
right.
So when he does do something, all these bad things happen. So should he be doing nothing or should he be doing something? So
Mm-hmm.
it's so everything mattered that was happening in it, down to the math written on this giant board behind him. That means nothing, does it? I don't know. Is it gibberish? Same with his brother's book of great mathematics, but also his brother, when he gets arrested for sodomy, allegedly, right? Is it at the you never is explicitly told what kind of bar it was. Is it like a gay bar? Is it a normal bar? Is it
Mm-hmm.
but does it matter? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just super smart and I really liked it. So yes. Great
Nice.
movie.
I
Really
agree with
enjoyed
that.
it.
Kind of
Down to
agree
the
with it
last
being one of their best scripts, honestly.
yeah.
Like it is like very full, and it feels like the turns it takes are like compact and perfectly packaged
Yeah.
to the theme.
And
Yeah.
it's so tight. Everything that is said seems to like matter and really drive home the point of what they're trying to get across. Down to like the fable at the beginning of the Dybbuk or Dybbuk, whatever it is.
Yeah. I thought like that would come up again, and like well, I guess like, are you gonna explain the connection between the two? Yeah, I'll let you.
Well,
I guess I was just
I mean,
curious, like if that concept would come up again because it didn't really.
I mean, it goes down to she stabbed him. Is there consequences? Does it matter? I don't know. He's off now. Was
Mhm.
he actually a Dybbuk? We don't know. Down to the credits, he's labeled as Dybbuk question mark in his character in the credits. So
Oh,
like down to the credits, they're still
I
like,
guess I
is
mean
he a
like
Dybbuk?
he fucking walked out. I mean like that dude. Yeah,
He was
100%. That guy was like,
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, no, and like even the final image of the whole thing is just like the tornado coming at the boy. He's erasing the F's. The doctor's delivery of like, should we, should I come in? He's like, or when should I come in? Now, now would be a good time,
Mm-hmm.
like, or as soon as possible. Whatever he says, it's just
Yeah.
like perfect beats, and then it ends.
Yeah.
Very
I made
good.
a note that it like doesn't give you answers specifically, like physically in the movie and in the script. It doesn't give you answers at the end of
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
did he get his tenure? We think he did, but like,
Right.
does he have cancer? We don't know yet because he has to go still talk to the doctor. Like it's like they leave you in a place that they like needed to for sure. And
Right.
it's like it's all encompassing of that theme at the end too, where it's like you still don't have the answers and you got to
Right.
deal with it. And it's exactly what that main dude's been dealing. Like he's been doing this whole time. Like
And like the letters even written to the tenure people, were they from
fucking Psy.
Psy
Yeah.
or were they from the Asian
Somebody else.
family,
Yeah.
the Korean family?
Mm.
Because she says she thought so highly of you. He wrote to the tenure board,
Mm.
but then they got bad letters from the tenure board. So you have it's just so
Yeah.
well
Is
constructed,
Psy like writing bad letters? Like it's
right?
like all this like questioning for
And
sure.
because he wrote those letters, is that why he died in the car accident, or was it because of the infidelity with the wife?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
does it matter?
Dude, I
Yeah.
totally thought he was gonna come back as a Divik or whatever too. After he
He
died.
sort of did in a way in the
Kinda, yeah,
dream.
in his dreams,
Kinda,
yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I wrote down is that I thought the score sounded like the score from Barton Fink,
Hmm.
and I just looked it up, and I guess it is actually the same guy. So that was kind of
I think his
interesting.
name's Carter Burwell, right?
I don't know.
He
I
does
didn't.
most of the
Yeah.
ones. music. Yeah,
Gotcha.
don't really talk
I can
about
see
it,
that.
the score that much for Coen's, but it is like subtle enough to
It's like fine.
get you there.
It works.
Just
Yeah, I don't
it's
know.
pretty minimalist, but good.
And then I also wrote down like that first scene. I think like partially because it was just in a different language. But also I originally thought that the person who came to the door was a Nazi. I didn't think that it was like a demon. Because of how they were talking about it, and they're Jewish and stuff. So it like reminded me of the intro scene to Inglourious Bastards.
Inglourious Bastards. Yeah.
And so I looked that up, and I guess they came out the same year. I guess Inglourious Bastards came out in May, and this came out in October. Which I guess, like, realistically, the scenes, besides just being in a different language and them being Jewish, I guess there's not really a lot of other crossover, because, like, it wasn't actually a Nazi, it was a demon in this case.
Or was
But
it?
I still felt, yeah, right.
Felt that
I
DNA?
still felt like, yeah, because like I don't know, for me, I felt like that first scene was tense because you're just like, what the fuck is this thing in the house, you know?
That
Yeah,
scene
that's
actually just like it just made me kind of see what they could do in horror for this
Yeah,
movie.
to be honest, I was terrified. Like
Yeah,
I didn't know what
it
the
was
fuck was
eerie.
gonna happen. Like
that was one of the main things I took away from this whole movie. I'm like, these guys could write a banging horror movie because this whole
Yeah.
movie is a horror movie. I
like
mean,
the
the whole
knock at
thing
the
is
door
just
at the beginning
yeah,
when they
it's
realize that
so chilling.
it might be not who
Yeah.
they thought. Yeah,
It's so good, and the fact that they're supposedly they're writing a horror movie and going to direct one.
that's what they want to do,
So
right?
like,
Yeah, go for
yeah,
it.
I mean, I'm here for it. Like this is probably this Bart and Fink are pretty close to like horror. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Especially the beginning of this film. I had like when the knock happened, I'm like, oh shit, this is fucking good.
Makes me think they're gonna do like they could do then like something vaguely supernatural. I don't know what their plan is or how they want to go about it.
Yeah,
Those are Barton Fink and this are kind of similar, where it's like
right.
the demon or the devil like in disguise or whatever helping you.
So good. Yeah.
Wonder what their take would be.
Yeah.
As to the frustration of this movie, I 100% get it. But then I like the reason why I like it is because to me it's like the Coens like an exercise in restraint as like a screenwriter and also like with this character he has so many like anxieties bottled in and like he's a man just like fucking taking it. He's like getting cucked left and right in life, you know what I'm saying? And like he always finds a way through like God to like not blame the other people but think about like why he is deserving of this, you know what I'm saying? Like so I don't know, it's just really smart in that regard.
Yeah, no, I think this is like they're really loud in most of their films, and this is like their most quiet. Besides, I guess, No Country. This is like their most quiet in terms of like the anxiety that is on screen instead of John Goodman screaming. It's just this constant like subdued anxiety from our main, protagonist who's just trying to constantly just take everything that's shoved at him and be like, "There's got to be an answer for this. There's got to be a reason it's happening," and just seeking out that
and
reason.
never getting the reason,
Right.
like because
And he goes to the rabbi. The rabbi gives him a bullshit story. Why'd you tell this story? You
like
asked.
literally doesn't matter. Yeah, like it just made like, even for me, I'm just like confused the whole time because like I'm just like, what the fuck?
It's so good.
Who wrote this on the teeth? What's up with it? Like, what is up with the teeth? Like,
he's like, yeah, no, the dude who even was really curious just stopped questioning it, and then he moved on with his life, and
Yeah.
And then I think like the last rabbi is supposed to more represent like God.
That's what I was thinking
like,
too.
Not really there for
he's like
people.
silent. Give you literally no answers. Like
the rabbi is busy. I just saw him. He didn't look busy. He's thinking.
It looks like he's fucking sleeping in there with that last shot, basically, like a zombie. And then the reveal, I guess I missed it. I need to like rewatch that scene again. But apparently, when he gives the kid the Walkman, he's like quoting lyrics from like a song or something.
Oh shit! I did not catch that.
So it's like
I thought it was just related to God.
It's like
and
God,
believing in
that
God.
kid gets to God, and then God basically tells him like rock and roll, baby. You know, like that's kind of what I got from that scene. And he's like, just do it. You know, like fucking live it. And that's not what you would think in that rabbi is going to give that kid, but it's that to me that's like the fun of the scene, or the Coen's fun of it, which is like God's going to give you this fun answer instead of like
Yeah.
this like prestige answer, But
No.
yeah, it's a nice like parallel with the father and the son in the movie too. Like
Oh yeah.
they're both
Yeah,
kind of like
true.
coming of age in ways.
Learning to deal with their shit. Yeah.
I was wondering too. I mean, this is obvious. I think this is like the most Jewish movie I've seen. Besides maybe like Schindler's List. I don't know, but
God damn, Matt.
sorry, was that too dark? But I wonder, like, this movie must land so much more for like a Jewish person, right? I mean, like, it's got to
Oh,
be
I
just
think
like
so.
uber
Just
relatable.
relatability.
Yeah.
Like, I was wondering, the comedy was there for me, but when it's like the first rabbi, like the title pops up, and it's like this ominous fucking music with like the first rabbi show, like, I mean, that's just funny, but I assume like a Jewish person that's just gonna like pop the roof off,
Yeah.
Like,
Same with like the when the kid reads the was it the Torah or whatever it is?
yeah, that's high as
Something
fuck.
every Jewish kid probably went through. And
Dude,
also was smoking weed.
right.
I
Yeah,
love that.
when it
He was getting
pans-
high in the bathroom
He's like looking
beforehand.
at all the
Yeah.
people, and then it pans to like the kid he was smoking weed with, and the
I
kid's just
oh my god, I was dying.
It's so good.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's a nice moment too, because like it's funny because it's like his singing is atrocious, and the song
Yeah.
is like sounds so bad, but then like the parents are like, that's the one moment of like love and like pride they can get in the movie is like from that moment.
Yeah, so there was like a scene that I like kind of questioned because at the time I didn't know who like Psy was because I think Psy hadn't been actually introduced. There's a point where like it's like right after his wife tells him she wants a divorce and then he has to like sleep on the couch or whatever, and he wakes up in the middle of the night and somebody like opens the fridge and it's just like chugging orange juice. And I assumed it was Psy who just got done like banging his wife, and he's just chugging orange juice because he's like thirsty.
That was his brother.
Fridge.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Because like I didn't actually like it was dark in the scene too, so like I couldn't tell like who it actually was. I don't know. I
From
thought it
what
was a
we
different
know,
person.
Psy and his wife never did anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
But in
Right.
his dream, Sai said he banged the shit out of his wife. So
Right.
Yeah.
I wrote down that I think Psy is maybe the most unlikable Coen character, and that's like
Oh my
saying
God.
something.
That
Like,
was like
Yeah.
one of the scenes that really
was
fired
bad.
me up.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, why would you just take this? Like,
Yeah,
why
this
aren't
guy's
you
hugging,
mad?
You're
Like-
hugging the guy who's fucking your like, I don't know.
he's like walks into his kitchen and is like, it's really important how we handle ourselves in this situation, as he's
Yeah.
like backing him into his like fucking cabinets and shit. Like,
Dude, or like when they're like, yeah, we think like you should move out into the Jolly Roger, and he's just,
yeah.
what if you just moved into Psy's house? And they're just like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Justy,
like-
right? Or whatever the fuck he
Crazy.
says. Like, yeah, that's insane.
when he counts down from 10 at the restaurant or silently.
Yeah.
Holding his hand.
Fucking
I
good.
made a note. There's maybe a couple too many dream sequences in the last half of this movie, similar
There
to
are a
Blood
lot.
Simple.
There are a lot.
Yeah, it just kind of
Yeah.
he's in the motel room having multiple dreams one after another almost, which is
Yeah, I
Almost
almost
as
like
funny.
Do it, I
didn't
guess.
know. Like it was almost like hard to keep track of like what was real and what was in a dream. But
I assume that's like
A little
the
trippy.
intent. But
Yeah.
like, I didn't need that, but whatever. Cohen's like it. Cohen's
does
like to get
anybody
confusing.
actually need that though?
The Coens do?
Yeah,
I guess they like to get like
I don't-
their shit twisted in the third act.
I was just trying to be dumb. Yeah.
I did like the one dream sequence where he ships his brother off to Canada and they shoot him. And then they're
Yeah.
like, look, Dad, another Jew. I was
Jesus.
like, my
I know
God.
that one.
Yeah,
I
the
was like,
fuck?
holy shit.
The neighbor too. He's like eyeballing the Asian dude. He's like, this guy's
Yeah.
bothering
This guy
me."
bothering you?
Yeah.
Dude, I love how like the dad is like exactly like the kid in his class. Like they're like exactly
The
the same,
bully, just like a
basically.
big, yeah.
Or at least like how they interact, because like
Mhm.
I don't know, the guy's just like the lawyer is just like talking himself in circles, and like isn't like you can tell he's kind of a dumbass, and like that's the same with like the student too, you know, like
Yeah.
just like father like son.
Yeah,
I don't
especially
know.
when he gets the check at the end, it's like, wow, he just paid for this guy's services, and he did what? Like,
Yeah, right.
you know.
There was a moment when everything. He's like, doesn't matter in this whole movie. And then when he tells his wife, he's mowing part of our lawn, and she's like, does it matter? Yes, I will agree that that matters. If someone
That's
was
the one
mowing a
thing.
section, yeah, I 100% agree with that. Mow a section of my lawn, we have problems.
Wow. What is it?
My
What
yard.
about?
Property
Yeah.
lines and
Okay.
shit.
Is it just intruding on your land? Is it an
Yeah,
easy
I guess the
masculinity thing?
last place we lived, I didn't know. Like, I figured our property line was this. So, like, at one point, they mowed onto, like, too far over the neighbors, and I was just kinda like, "Why'd they do that?" And I'm just staring out the window fuming for no reason because they mowed one strip on my property. So I just made it clear from that point on I was going to mow first and always be on top of it. So,
Yeah,
it
just
does
draw that
matter.
line.
Did you mow into their yard? That's what I'd do.
This old
But
lady had to
farther
mow
over
onto
into
her
their yard.
yard because she
Then
waited
they
so
would.
long to do it. So yeah, and I offered to mow her yard because she tipped her mower over one time and was like laying out there, and we didn't know, but we were told not to go rescue her because her dog. This is getting into a weird tangent. Anyway, but anyway, so I was like, "Hey, I could mow your yard." She's like, "No, I got it." I'm like, I don't think you do, but okay."
Yeah,
So anyway,
that
Hmm.
stubborn pride that
A lot
old
of
people have.
yeah, a lot of passive aggression in mowing the lawn. I never would have guessed with
yeah,
mowers and stuff.
yeah. I
Realistically,
think
it kind of fucks
that's
up the environment. It like literally takes out like the ecosystem for like a lot of like insects to live. I mean, that's like
Oh.
part of the reason why bees are becoming extinct.
They'll
So like
find somewhere else.
I'll say it. Fuck bugs. Yeah, fuck them.
if we don't have bees,
True.
we will die because they
Fuck
What
them.
have
pollinate
bees
our
done for me
plants.
recently, though?
This thing back here is for bees.
You let bees
That
in your
thing?
in your
It's a
place?
home for bees. I don't know. I was gonna put it
Wow.
outside somewhere.
Nice. You're doing God's work, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like
Does it
bees.
matter though?
To be
I was
honest,
gonna
well,
say-
this is
I
also
was
a
gonna
tangent,
say.
but I would love to be a beekeeper, like part time or some shit. Just have some
Why?
Jason
bees.
Statham, the beekeeper.
Oh,
Okay.
that kind of
I don't know.
beekeeping.
I mean, I haven't seen the movie. To be honest, I don't really like Jason Statham or his movie. They're fine. They're fine. All right, I'll watch them.
Yeah.
They're like
But this
What are you
entertaining.
one,
doing?
But
What-
that's
what
not
is
what I
with
meant.
these
I had the
things?
idea to be a beekeeper before that shit.
Why did
Anyway,
you just come
moving
after
on.
Jason Statham like that?
I rated this a 3.5.
Okay, yeah, I was at a 3 with this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars. I think.
This is my
That's what it
second
was.
5-star for the Coens, I'd say.
Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Nice. Yeah, I do have 3 Coen brothers at 5 stars. I think it's the most of any filmmakers, but I think that means I have to go back and give the other filmmakers more 5 stars. not in a bad way, but like the Coens,
Yeah.
when they hit their sweet spot in their stride, it's amazing.
Oh,
But-
when they're in their pocket, they're in
Yeah.
their pocket.
For sure.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's just they have a lot of lulls, which
They do.
honestly, it's I don't know. I don't know if refreshing is the right word. Like when I watch a Tarantino movie, I know it's going to be a banger because I'm biased, and I thought that for the Coens because I've loved a lot of their movies. But there's
Mhm.
been a few where I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is okay, you know.
Fine.
Yeah.
I think me and Joe were talking, about a few days ago, where it's like this dive specifically, and just every director's dive we've already done. It's like you kind of are shocked at how like the directors only make like one kind of movie, or just like keep doing
Oh,
like
yeah.
what works for them.
Yeah.
Like even like Tarantino and Fincher, like they got their bag, and they fucking keep doing it. And
Yeah. It seemed like Fincher's movies that were like the weakest were when he deviated from like, the fucking like
his
thriller. Yeah.
His, like,
his
noir
brand. Yeah.
Theme.
Yeah.
it's tough as an artist. Like even like music too. I was thinking about it where it's like people get pissed if you change your sound, if you do, it's
Right.
like, but you don't want to fucking keep making the same shit. So it's like,
Right. You gotta
Hard.
experiment.
mhm.
Yeah.
Which I do. I'll give the Coens credit. Like a lot of their stories, they hit like this similar beats, but I think they have pretty much the most diverse in terms of, I guess, what's the word, genre? Like they have comedy, they have drama, they have the Western coming up. They have, I don't know. I mean, I feel like
No
They try
Country's kind of
different
like a
stuff.
thriller.
Yeah,
They've
I
done a
I feel like
rom-com, like
yeah, when they got into
Yeah.
the 2000s, I feel like they were really trying to do other stuff. Like, yeah, they had a fucking rom-com followed by a heist movie. I mean, I feel like
Yeah.
they were definitely trying other stuff. Yeah.
they got their
Feels
characters,
like
they got
they're
their structures, but they try to
yeah,
like place them in different genres for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, and on actuality, I feel like they are reasonably successful. Obviously, like you said, Alex, like they have the lulls, but even the lulls are like mid. They're not like bad,
That's
Like
true. Yeah.
and even the
I
lulls, I
thought they
feel like
were.
upon
yeah,
rewatch, I think they'll change. I mean, look at The Serious Man. When I first watched it, I found it a little off-putting, but
Yeah.
like I enjoyed the ideas and the themes and how it made me think. So that's why when coming back to it, I'm like, I think I'm gonna really like it, and if I really just like sit down and really think about it, and I did. I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
So
Nice. Yeah.
yeah.
That's for sure. Their rewatches, I mean, even for Burn After Reading, they get better. They definitely
yeah,
they might jolt you the first time and then you're just like ready for it the second time or something. But,
So I'm
like I'm
curious
a
what like art think and stuff. Like I feel like if I
yeah.
went back and watched that, I just like soak up even more from that one, and maybe more with Serious Man too.
Yeah, I advocate for rewatching, but like recently, a few movies that I've currently rewatched and like bumped up from like 3 stars to five. I'm like rewatching is just so important. I mean,
Mm,
especially at different stages in your life.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
that
definitely.
it just they connect better,
It's
or
crazy
you
too,
just
because
get it.
like, yeah,
yeah.
a lot of the
Figure it
movies
to draw
that
from.
I've bumped to five come from a 3.5 star movie in a weird.
Yeah,
That's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Where it's like you
that's
might just
true.
not get it the first. I mean, it makes sense though. It's like it was a good movie, but whatever. But like
yeah,
then you watch it again and just like,
Like,
oh,
damn.
Swiss
Yeah.
Army Man was that way. The Lighthouse was that way for me. Like you just got to give it another try and then kind of like get on board.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like my more shocking one was Sicario. Like I just thought that was just gonna be like the average run of the mill cartel esque, U.S. government movie, but like it's just so well written. But then Villeneuve brings in his like
It's
style and
chisel.
makes you even more. Yeah,
Dude.
it's really good filmmaking and or based. The foundation of the story is where it starts, but like bringing in Denny was like a great choice.
Yeah,
So
I'm
I got to
learning to
rewatch that
just
one.
not. Yeah, same. I've only seen that one once,
Mhm.
but I'm learning
that
to
was one.
not.
It was at 3.5, and I bumped it to five. Like
eh,
it was without question this watch through.
Yeah, I find
Nice.
that a lot too. It's like 3.5, and it's like it usually goes to 4.5, but then I'm like, it's worthy of a 5 maybe. So yeah, I see that a lot.
Bump it up.
But dude,
Bump it up.
I'm just learning not to underestimate Denis Villeneuve because after Dune Part 2, I was like, all right, Dune 1, I'm cool with it. Like I'm back on board. It's a good. It fills in,
Mhm.
like. So
I
I think
get,
he's just
I,
underrated.
yeah,
Maybe not.
I get the
He's one of the
Dune
best directors
like
right now.
hype.
He's good.
Yeah, definitely. And like I rewatched it in IMAX, and it kind of enhanced my experience. But
Yeah,
Me too.
honestly, I feel like Dune and Dune 2 are like his weakest of his filmography.
Yeah,
really.
I kind of agree. I mean, weak in a 4 star way,
Yes,
like
right,
Right.
exactly.
so it's like you
Like
can't
as
really
weak as he
complain.
can get,
Yeah,
but like I just
I don't know. I
the
mean, what I was gonna say about Dune, like even this last one, just like for the budget and what I mean, they made fucking sandworms, like a lot of sandworms for like under $200 million. I mean,
yeah,
like you see Indiana Jones, like $350
yeah,
million movie for just like a
bloated.
fucking 30-minute, introductory
yeah,
That's why I think he's the best, one of
de-aging
the best
situation.
directors right now. Is like he can use the all his material and budget to the fullest, and he can give
Yeah.
you visual images, the
yeah,
likes of which like should make people sad. Like in that, or like because to
Yeah.
put something at that scale and that visually stunning is like it kind of sets a precedent for everyone else to be like you
yeah.
can't do that.
Oh,
Like
this is what we can do. Yeah.
yeah. So
What's capable.
Yeah,
it's
and I
just he
think
knows what to
even
do.
before that, look at Godzilla -1, like what they did with their small budget. Like
Mhm.
watching Godzilla just eviscerate people with his breath.
Yeah.
I'd watch that on repeat.
Yeah.
It's
You
all about
know
how you allocate the resources, man. Like
exactly.
the 350 million things. Honestly, it's like almost a money laundering scheme at a certain point,
Yeah,
where it's like let's just overinflate all the budgets and overinflate timelines and shit like that, and then like not get the value out of it somehow. But
yeah,
Yeah. It's just like just the attention is given to the wrong places
Right.
with a budget like that. It's like you have so much, I feel like you don't know where to put the energy into at that point. You're like,
Too
well,
many hands, too many fucking people.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But,
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess I did have one more note about A Serious Man, just randomly. One of my favorite moments was when he's tweaking the satellite dish on the roof.
Yeah.
To me, I just found like a lot of the theme there, where it's like this temperamental like signal catcher, where it's like getting different signals, and it's like kind of staticky and messed up, but then like each one is giving you new information in a weird way, and it's like how if you'll listen to it or not. I don't know. Maybe I was just reading into that scene, but I found that to be
awesome. I forget when he's in the rabbi, or I forget where he was.
Yeah, he's
like
he's talking to a divorce lawyer.
That's it.
Right? Oh yeah.
For the get.
Yeah.
Right after he told him his hourly rate.
Yeah.
I'm not getting whatever the TV show is still.
Yeah, it's fuzzy. Yeah.
He didn't give him his hourly rate. He gave him his other.
Oh yeah, the other
hourly
guys.
rate. And then right when he was going to tell him his, he gets a call. Oh, you can take this.
Never hears it.
Yeah.
Gets the bill at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
$3,000.
And for what ridiculous.
He does kind of get like a victory though, with like the 10-year moment, and then the like turning the F into the C- moment. That's like his personal agency moment, you know?
Yeah. I didn't know if that was gonna like turn around
Right.
in like the the couple days before he like finds out, and then like it'll like ruin his tenure. I thought that was gonna happen, but that didn't.
Well, he gets the call from the doctor right as soon as he's erasing.
That's true.
The grade.
It's like, does this? Did he like mess up like his whatever he had going before? Now that he's decided to go that direction.
Yeah.
So much to think about.
Great questions, no answers.
Yeah, chew on.
No answers.
That's life, man.
Because God isn't there.
Gosh. Damn.
God's not real.
Well, next week we're doing another double. What's the move?
What's next?
I'm down.
True Grit is next.
Oh, that's fun.
And then is it Llewellyn or is it Hell Caesar?
I think Hell Caesar's second to last. Yeah, so it's Inside Llewyn Davis.
Okay.
This is the last one I have not seen.
Yeah. Same here.
Go.
You're wrapping up their filmographies.
Well, I guess I've seen part of the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. I don't think I've seen the whole thing. But other than that, I haven't seen any of these.
That's one of my favorites. I know a sucker
so
for
we have
anthologies.
True Grit and Llewyn Davis, right? Those are
I'm down for it. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I hadn't really looked through the movie chest picks. I don't know if you want to do that just like tomorrow or something. I'll be down.
That's cool. Whenever.
Unless you want to do it right now, I can check it out. But
Yeah,
I haven't looked at it at all.
So I write these all down, my picks all down in the same notes. This one movie has been up like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
And I will pick it until it gets picked.
I don't know what it is.
All right.
So.
Well, you guys been watching anything else that's fun, or
I thought we were gonna talk about Shogun. I still haven't watched it. I just I've been meaning to get around to watching it. I know it's gonna be good. I watched like the first 10 or 15 minutes, and it seemed interesting. It's just like there's just so many subtitles, and I just didn't want to pay attention to reading it.
A lot of subtitles.
Yeah. I watched the first episode, and I really want to continue it, but there's just so much to watch right now for some reason. At least it feels that way for myself.
A lot more coming around now.
Yeah.
I did start this silly show, Resident Alien.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Alan Tudyk.
It's pretty funny, actually. Kind of enjoyable. At
Is
least
it
this
still
first season.
going, or did it end up
it's still
getting?
going.
Gotcha. Okay. I couldn't remember if I heard it got canceled or not,
Is it
but
a
I don't know if
sci-fi
it got
show?
picked up by
Yeah,
somebody
it's a
else.
sci-fi show. It's kind of shocking that it's like actually like there's genuinely funny moments and smart moments in it. Where I was just like, nice. I don't think it's going to carry on the next 2 seasons because the premise that the first season has is just so like, well, like it's just such a good premise, and the stakes are so good and contained in this season. So carrying it on for multiple seasons just doesn't seem like it'll work. But we'll see.
Nice.
I do have a question for you, Matt, on Love Lies Bleeding. What'd you think? I saw you saw
I
it.
did see that one. Yeah. I liked it. I had a good time. I didn't
Yeah.
find it to be like my favorite movie. I think it was like kind of standard and textbook in ways that made it not that engaging, but it does take kind of wild turns that hook you and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Trying to find the right word, but like it's just not as like I hate using the word remedial because I feel like a douchebag when I use that word, but like it just like doesn't have like
Yeah,
all
you
of
sound like a
the
condescending
that's
piece of shit.
exactly what I thought I was saying.
Remedial? Come on,
Exactly.
dude.
Well, it's like the way I described it after seeing the movie was like they have a line in the movie where it's like that only happens in the movies, which to me that's a line that you don't put in movies and stuff like that. It's just you don't do it.
Sure.
Especially if you bend reality in said movie the
Yeah.
way you do in that movie.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah,
it's
like
just
you
like
say
you
that
didn't.
only happens in the movies and then look right in the camera.
Well, it's like that only happens in the movies, and then I don't want to spoil things for this movie, but things are wild as fuck at the end, and they don't
It gets
have any bearing in
crazy.
reality. So it's like,
Yeah.
what? Like I don't know. I guess that's like the fun of it is to just not give a shit about it and be like, I'm gonna write
Maybe
the
you
line
just
and
need
I'm
to
just gonna
watch it
keep going
again,
and
Matt.
maybe it'd probably be one that would grow because I liked a lot of it. I liked Kristen Stewart a lot. I think Katie
Fuck yeah.
O'Brien, who played the other chick, at the end of the year, I think I'll give her a nomination for the Best Actress award because she was fucking great.
When she was doing her poses on stage, I was like, oh, that was so good. Like
Yeah,
that was like ballet right there.
Yeah, and that sequence is great. How it like
Yeah.
twists.
Yeah.
And the one at the end was fun. I really loved the visual of them running in the clouds.
Yeah.
That's an iconic moment that I don't think I'll forget. But
I think it really like the end part is going to be divisive, but I think it worked. I mean,
for sure,
it's the whole in the eyes of the beholder type, it's what
yeah,
she vision
it's
like sees her as,
for sure. And it's this fucked up Thelma and Louise story that like
Yeah.
I'm trying to get on board for, but it's like some of the characters that they disregard. Like I think her name's Daisy. It's like a
Yeah.
joke of the movie, but
Yeah.
like it's like why is that a joke? Because these people are pretty unlikable and they just I don't know. It's just it's like hard to like rally behind that decision, I guess.
Yeah,
But
I can see that.
it pays off in the movie in moments for sure. So it's like
Yeah, no, I think everybody was cooking in the movie. I mean, Kirsten Stewart was awesome. I've been on Kirsten Stewart. I've been on her train for Twilight. I'll forgive her for that, just like I forgive Robert Pattinson because I think he's one of the best actors of his generation. And anyway, so Kirsten
She-
Stewart I really liked.
yeah.
Katie, what's her face? I don't know her last name. What's her last
O'Brien,
name?
I think is her last
O'Brien, yeah. She's really good in it. Dave Franco's kind of cooking.
name. Yeah, he's
And
pretty good.
Ed
Yeah.
Harris was fantastic as just
He's
like
fun.
this menacing demon of a man. So,
Yeah. He's
yeah.
playing most of his shit. I did like his relationship with Kristen Stewart. I thought that was pretty fun.
Yes. It was what was so nice about that relationship was that like they didn't need to tell you everything. Like what she like conveyed with her
Early
actions
on.
and yeah, when they're together, you could just feel like they get flashes of kind of what they did together, but like they're so alike, but they don't. She doesn't want to be like him. It's just so well constructed that relationship.
I like the
So,
flashback moments where you see like actually what her darkest
yeah,
thing she did is probably, but that worked
yeah,
a lot. Some of the like some of the moments that I was like I didn't enjoy were like the turns of the characters where I'm trying to think of like what happens, but they're gonna go to Vegas, and then
hmm
something happens, and Kristen Stewart immediately is like, "No, you can't go to Vegas." Like,
hmm
there's just like plot mechanics when the characters didn't feel like they would make those decisions, or like they
See,
should have just gone to Vegas because that's what they plan to do. But since you
right.
have to like create conflict now, it's like,
See, I felt that too. As soon as she said we got to stay put, I'm like, oh no, now we're gonna get into this part to where now we can't go to Vegas. So maybe there was a budget cut, so they had to keep them in this position and get them mad at each other, right? But then Katie's character says, like, well, the normal thing would be to go to Vegas. So that kind of, I wrote that off as like, okay, she's at least
they
thinking,
made the argument, yeah, for sure.
right? So it was kind of aware of what it was doing at the same time. So it
That's
just
fair.
felt smarter than the average
For sure. They
forced
made the
conflict.
argument, which is more
Yeah.
than that's like success, I guess you could say. Yeah, where it's like
Yeah.
they thought about it. It just felt whiplashy with Kristen Stewart in that moment, I guess. But
A little bit, yeah. I think
Sure.
just her muscle memory kicked in there when I
probably
don't know. It was just
she's like making
was
the
good.
plans, making the fucking yeah.
Yeah. The
I
only
had a good
scene I
time.
thought was unnecessary was the last sexual encounter between her and Katie's character, where she just talks about stretching her out and stuff. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
that was crazy.
I don't know what your theater was like. I had quite a few females couples.
Oh yeah,
in
no.
my thing. They added to the experience for sure.
When I left that movie, there was a lesbian couple in there. They came out and they're like, "That was so cute." I'm like, "Watching the same fucking movie I was watching?
Yeah,
Like
some
that
people were
wasn't
like
cute."
cheering, like fucking, like having it was like an event for some people, so that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I'm glad people are like going and seeing it because I think, I
Mhm.
mean, after rewatching Dune the day after I watched this one, I left and I told Sarah, I was like, Love Lies Bleeding is better. I mean, 100%. I just enjoyed myself more. So
Dune right
yeah,
now
Damn.
is the best movie of the year for me. Part 2.
it's
As
the
I'm looking at my
second best.
rankings,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's still number 1 so far.
yeah,
Liked it a lot. Yeah. After watching it, I was like, damn, I don't think they could have done the books any better.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, I was happy with it. Did you guys end up watching the Oscars at all? Then I know Alex, you sent
Sure
us
did.
ballots. Yeah, yeah.
I got 16 out of
Nah.
23 with my guesses, so not too shabby.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, and the ones that like I didn't get were like kind of a lot of them were my personal picks, so I was like, yeah, fucking hell yeah. But I think the Oscars are making some of the best picks they've done in years. The last 2
Yeah.
years, like I feel like they're like kind of on it, in my opinion. But
I'm glad Emma Stone got the best actress. I think she earned that one. Like
yeah,
Poor Things wasn't like my favorite movie from last year, but she's great in that movie. What she
she
does.
does a
That was
lot
kind
of
of
work in that.
exactly what I thought
Yeah.
too. Like if they were gonna win anything for Poor Things, I would like that was kind of the only thing
That and costume and set design, I think, is
Yeah.
what Poor Things earned.
Yeah.
So
It was tough
Those-
after watching
those
Poor
definitely
Things
fit.
because I wanted Barbie to win both those awards, but after watching Poor
Yeah.
Things,
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
true.
dude,
yeah.
they
And then like
deserve
it's
it
kind of
too.
fucked up because
It's so
I
hard.
think Barbie like for what both of those movies were doing, I feel like Barbie did it better anyway by
Really?
far in my opinion. But
Poor
yeah.
Things'
Yeah, I thought
costumes
for at least
were
set.
Poor
insane.
Things
So good.
costumes were good. Yeah.
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 And the production design was pretty nuts too. But it's
Yeah.
it's hard
The
because
world they created was
Yeah.
pretty dope.
theirs was
Kinda
like
thought
out
I'd
of
work
scratch.
against them too, but you know,
Really?
yeah, dude, it's just like some weird fucking Willy Wonka, Tim Burton-esque world that like
Yeah.
it didn't feel like the real world, like, but it is in the real. Then they go to real places, like
Yeah, it's supposed to be
High
like a fucked
fantasy,
up
man.
fairy tale.
Yeah.
That's how I
Yeah.
took it. Where like it's like a weird ass Snow White, like wandering
Yeah.
through like a fucking.
But like I don't know,
world.
it's like it's in the real world and they're
Yeah.
dealing with real world consequences, but it just like didn't feel. I don't know.
That's fair. I think Barbie like they have like actual reference points for their production and their costumes,
Yeah.
and they did it perfectly. So it's like
Yeah.
they did deserve some credit there, but it's like Poor Things was like all imagination, so it's kind of like hard to like judge them together. but-
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Barbie did such a good job of making the stuff like look plastic.
Oh my god,
Mhm.
dude.
Yeah.
And that set was insane. The set design and the production design of that is
Yeah.
nuts.
Best part of the movie was the set and costumes and
Yeah.
Ken.
Ken. They got. I mean, Barbie got shafted. They got
Yeah.
a lot of snubs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling's cooking though.
That
So
performance was
True.
pretty good.
As always.
it was pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not expect Slash to just be up there shredding, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That's the, how many hats do you think Slash has?
Too many.
got
Well,
Probably
lot.
multiple clodsets.
Yeah.
Multiple.
At least a couple backups, right? But like
Yeah.
they all seem to have like a level of like grime or like wear and tear. It's like they never left his head.
There's like a
He
section
orders them
in
and he
one of
says,
the
"Just kick
multiple
'em
hat
here."
closets that's like for that. It like makes them look dirty.
Yeah, some like he pays somebody to come and like wear his hats and like fucking
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be so
go
fucked.
to the park. Yeah.
Just like roll around in
That's
the
funny.
grass at the park.
Yeah.
To hire some homeless
Just get some
people.
use.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
dirtier you get it, the more I pay.
I'm gonna look good. That
Just
was
no
good.
shit.
I was so random seeing him there. I thought,
Yeah. I was watching it and Sarah was holding the phone because I was driving. So I was like, safe, right? So I was like watching. I'm like, is that Slash?
yeah, I was like,
Oh
who
my
the fuck's
God.
Slash?
What's he doing here?
Yeah,
No slaps this year, guys. I was a little disappointed.
yeah.
Bummer.
Tame.
Can't have them every year, you know.
True.
Keep them guessing.
Yeah.
Keep us coming
But
back.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like honestly, a lot of like, I mean, Oppenheimer for music. I thought that was a great choice. Honestly,
Cillian Murphy for
Cillian
best
Murphy, pretty
actor.
good choice. Robert Downey
Yeah.
Jr. Sure, fine.
That's
Not
fine. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Best Picture, sure, whatever, man. But just give it to Nolan for, I
Mhm.
guess, for doing it. But
I mean, it looked good.
Yeah. Some cool visuals.
Honestly, the Robert Downey Jr. felt like it was just like,
Forced.
just give the guy his Oscar.
Yeah.
If you ask me, I think De Niro was
That's
cooking
what I
in
voted for.
Killers
I
as
kind
well.
of thought so too. Yeah. I was surprised
I think
Killers didn't
that's
get
one of his
as
best
much.
performances, and at this age, still pumping him out like that. Shit.
Pumping them out.
Yeah.
Pumping. I thought that was one of his like most subtle evil. Like,
Yeah,
the subtle
Yeah.
evil
so
of that
good,
won me over as like an actual good performance. But
Yeah.
so good. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
just his
American
character look.
Fiction won for best original screenplay. I was pretty happy about that because that movie's actually really good. I'd check it out.
Yeah.
I almost
Yeah, I've
watched.
been meaning to watch
Instead,
it.
I watched They Clone Tyrone again.
Uh,
At least you watched a black movie then, right? You're
Yeah.
still
yeah.
salty.
Yeah.
But no, it's really I like that movie a lot. I was like debating on thinking that one kind of deserved best picture almost, but
Yeah.
I was thinking about it though. Like, I guess I would have picked Past Lives, but I don't think any of the movies in that pool was like really like best picture material for me. But they're all
I
pretty
had that
good.
thought too. Yeah. They're all good,
Maestro,
but
not very good. Did not like Maestro.
no, I didn't see that.
It had its moments where I was like, Bradley Cooper is a great director, but then there was
Looks
moments
good.
where I'm like, who wrote this shit? And like, who approved this shit?
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper needs to not act in his own movies, I'd say, or not be front and
Yeah.
center anymore.
Really?
Because I
I
don't
feel like
think he understands the relationship that he has with like this material.
Carrie Mulligan really killed that movie for me. I did not like
I
her
thought she was
at all.
fine. I just thought like
So bad.
this the fucking like scene chewing, the scenery like eating that they were doing that whole movie. I just couldn't get over it. It's like
Yeah.
they like set up a scene where they're just gonna be like together, and then it's like, let's just try to be as naturalistic, even though we're as hammy as we can be, and let's just
Yeah.
fucking smoke cigarettes. And if I accidentally ash on you, then we'll just play it, and we'll keep play. I'll talk about how I ashed on you, and we'll just keep going. And it's like, dude, make a fucking scene first, okay? Like, and then
I
get
know
me
what
there.
you're referencing. That's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that's. I feel like there was a couple times where I was like, Bradley Cooper's really shooting for this best acting. Like
too many
he was
times. He
chewing it up.
he tanked the movie for me. I'm not gonna like if it wasn't him, I think it would have been on board more. But I just
Really?
felt him like trying way too hard.
I felt the try
Don't even really like see him as like that role either.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, why did he's got like a fake nose on, and it's like, to me that reads like the dude doesn't like have, like I said, the correct like understanding of what he's doing. It's like, dude, you don't need a fake nose to like be the character. And to be quite
Yeah.
honest, like putting a fake Jewish nose on is like maybe not the right decision. Like, so just like play it like a fucking human, and then we won't worry about the nose, and the movie's gonna be better. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just like fundamental shit after a certain point, but
The nose
Yeah.
made the movie for a lot of people, Matt. All right.
I think it tanked the movie for a lot of people, honestly. But
There's a lot of
it's-
angry people about that.
yeah, cinematically there were a lot of great moments, even though
Yeah.
I don't even understand the format Bradley Cooper chose. Like,
Artsy fartsy, man.
like there wasn't a decision. It was just like, well, no one's seen that format yet, so let's do that one. Like, because I need to show that I got something else, and I'm gonna do something else that no one's ever done. You know, like
Yeah.
it's just like, why are you making these decisions, Bradley? to get the award. To get the award. That's
Yeah,
exactly what
definitely.
he does.
Just give the man the award so he can make a nice schlocky action film for fuck's sake.
Don't
Yeah.
give him the award though. Don't do it.
If they don't, he's gonna go insane.
No, I think he needs to
That's
read
fine.
into it and be like, oh, maybe I should make a more mid-level movie of
I hope so.
entertainment and prestige, not just
Yeah.
all my fucking eggs into prestige.
I don't
That's
know.
good.
I mean, do you think he's even up to that level?
That's-
I don't even
I do.
Dude, you seen
100%.
You think so?
You think so?
Stars
I
Born
think-
was good.
Stars Born is fantastic, and I think Bradley Cooper is one of the better actors of his generation as well. I'm in. I got a lot of stock
good.
in
As
Brad.
how many generations do you think there are?
New
Well,
ones every year, right?
in
Yeah,
that
dude.
generation? I would when I say him, I would put him in the what would that be? The Leo Chris Pine, older, because Pattinson's
Okay.
right below those guys because he's still in his late 30s, I think, early 30s.
I can see that.
So, yeah.
He's good. I just think he's getting in too much trust. Let other voices be heard. You know, I think that about a lot of filmmakers nowadays, though, where it's even with Chris Nolan, it's yeah, that dude has great ideas and he's a great filmmaker, but let other people get in his ear and tell him when he's going too far and come back to reality.
Reel back, yeah. That's fair. I think Bradley Cooper just needed a little bit of a tug, which I just think that the way they laid out that biopic was just poorly constructed to begin with. So I don't know. Yeah. There was a lot of things wrong with it, but I'm still into Bradley Cooper. I got a lot of stock in him, so
Nice.
I got hope.
I did watch all the Best Picture winners though, and Anatomy of a Fall is pretty good too. I'd check that one out. Kept my interest, even though it's a really long movie. What should I watch here? I watched Bad Education on Max.
Hey, that's a good one.
That's a surprisingly really good movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna rewatch that movie because it's just made me want to watch it again. After that movie, I was I learned more about greed and corruption in this
It's
movie
crazy.
than I did
School
in Wolf
system.
of Wall Street. I was it's so much more relatable and effective in my opinion than just the excessive fucking I'm greedy, greed. It's just subtle, and you unfold the layers of greed and how it got there. But and a great
really
performance
good.
by Hugh Jackman too.
Yes, very good.
Other one I'll talk about is I watched the Taylor Swift
The
Eras
Eras.
tour.
On that note, why'd you do that, man?
I had to see what it was all about. I had to see what the fucking what the $1 billion tour was about.
They got you.
I guess I didn't even know. I listen to Taylor Swift songs here and there when my girlfriend plays them, but watching the lyrics come across the screen with her performance, really, I kind of get it. I'm not gonna lie, she's a great songwriter, and her performance is whatever. But to be quite honest, I never really realized how honest and layered her lyrics are. It's pretty crazy, and I'm gonna go through her shit. I don't know. I think I bought in. Performance is super long, but it was good.
Yeah, I think where I'm at, I kind of fall along those lines, except I don't really think I want to go through a deep dive of Taylor Swift stuff. I don't think her music is for me, but I respect her as an artist. Because obviously, if that many people are into her, I think there's probably a reason. I know that's not always the case, because I'm always ripping on fucking country, but I don't know. I think
if I give you a country artist, would you give him a try? Because I hate country.
What's up?
If I give you a country artist, would you give him a try?
Maybe.
2 albums specifically.
All right. Are there any songs that are just about drinking beer and taking my tractor out?
No, if you listen to Sweet Deanne by Zach Bryan, you might change your mind because that's just pure singer-songwriter. I mean, he wrote and recorded, not wrote, but he recorded all these songs in a motel room over the course of I think a long weekend or a week. And
you said Zach Bryan?
Yeah, he's like one of the biggest in the country, like up and coming artists. But he's got 2 albums that are actually like 2 of my most listened to albums last year. And I hate country music, so keep that in mind.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
yeah, Sweet Deanne, that's a great album. It just feels so raw and like actually relatable instead of like one drive my pickup truck down a country back road,
But that's
Yeah.
chew
that's
tobacco, chew
relatable
tobacco,
too.
chew tobacco, spit. You know. So,
I mean, you gotta spit when you chew tobacco, though.
yeah.
It's just what it is.
I'll take a listen
Taylor
to it.
Swift, though, I do like her old stuff because that's what my sister listened to growing up. So I was
Here, drop
also
some my
subjected
guitar.
to. Yes, that
Classic.
kind of shit.
Yep.
Not really on board with her new stuff though.
Yeah,
I
I didn't
tried.
think so
I
either,
really
but
tried.
like, really, okay. I'm gonna list
I
like her
did.
Midnight's album is like fucking good. It's just like it's like catchy bangers. Lyrics are all there. Because I was like, what's the hype about? Why is this like the most popular
Yeah.
person in the world? That's all there, and then she's got this like clean image that can't be tarnished. She's like this white Cinderella character, like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just like trying to figure it out. I think I figured it
Yeah.
out, and it's
I
fine.
tried the dive. I have, I go back and forth, which is 14 hours. So I did the Taylor Swift dive. I tried to get on board.
I did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Good
that's
luck
about it.
to you with that.
Thanks. I mean, it was a huge event last year, too, so I was just curious.
Yeah.
But other than that, I finished Masters of the Air, Apple show. I'm surprised you're not watching that one, Alex, because it's got your boy, Austin
I
B.
know. I know I need to watch it. It's on my list of things to do.
Yeah, I mean,
So many
no
things to
rush,
do.
honestly. It starts better than it ends. So it kind
Yeah,
of just keeps doing the same shit and then gets old. But
really.
that's what
They,
war is like. So,
they fly some planes,
they fly
stuff
some
happens, and
planes,
then
they
it kind of just
clash.
ends.
Yeah, that's about it. Then they get picked up by American soldiers. War's over. But is it for
Until the
them?
next one.
They got to keep flying planes because that's all they know, baby.
Yep.
That's it.
Does it like flash forward a couple years, like into the future where they're just flying commercial airlines and shit,
It
or
tells
like
you like what they did the rest of their lives, and it's like some people,
most of them are flying commercial airlines?
yeah, or they just went back to the war and kept flying planes. Honestly,
Ah,
like,
shit, like
yeah,
Korea and stuff.
yep, Korea and
Or maybe
Vietnam.
they went back and taught the Top Gun recruits.
Yeah,
Oh,
us
Yeah.
the
too.
other people became
They've
teachers,
really been
so
shooting
yeah.
for that like these days, because like I don't know, apparently it's like a big deal. People passing on your piloting knowledge, I guess, to new pilots. They just try to keep them in the military longer, I guess.
Hmm.
Speaking of flying planes, I did watch the movie Wings too, and Oscars. This was the first Oscar winner in 1927 or some shit like that. But
Hmm.
it made me think of Top Gun. I was like, holy
Yeah.
fuck, this is Top Gun, man. It's like two dudes in like flying planes. They're actually in the war, so it's not like one for one, obviously, but like there's a love interest in between them, and they're like rivalry fighter pilots.
Nice.
And like it's got the Maverick and the what's Val Kilmer's title?
Iceman.
Iceman,
yeah.
Maverick and Iceman.
Iceman.
It's got that vibe.
You speaking of planes, have you checked out Society of the Snow yet?
Not yet. That is
Been
one
curious
that's
about
like
that.
on the forefront of my watch list, and I just can't.
I
It's always
think
like when I'm gonna eat dinner, and I'm like, I don't want to watch that one, right? Because I know kind of what's gonna happen. So
that was just one of the like for me visually that was one of the best looking movies last year that I saw. It felt that didn't feel good, but it was like beautiful to look at
yeah,
the horrible tragedy, of course. But
I haven't
yeah,
seen it, but I gave it a couple personal picks for the Oscars. I think it was like makeup, because I
yeah,
just
yeah.
figured they
Its
did a
makeup's
pretty
really
like
good. Like
realistic job.
they made
And
those
one of
guys
them,
look grimy as fuck.
yeah, yeah. And I thought the Poor Things makeup was good, but it wasn't like
It wasn't there
Oscar
wasn't
material.
Yeah, it didn't showboat as much as it did for like its production or set design or
Right.
costume design.
Right. And there's only really the Willem Dafoe feature,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah.
but it is good. Well, anything else before we sign off?
There's one thing I need to get back on The Sopranos, so I need some sort of motivation. I heard that ad that kind of ruined it for me, like spoiled the ending. So
Yeah.
I've been kind of butthurt after that.
What can I say to motivate you though?
Yeah,
Because
you
you
got. I
already
need.
kind of know exactly
Where
like
you at then?
everything. It's like season
They
4, right?
just they just put Chrissy in rehab. That's like the last episode I watched.
Is that
Have
season
you
4?
seen Steve Buscemi yet?
No, he's coming up. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think it is season
he's
4.
in like a whole season.
Yeah,
That's
That's
something to
true.
look
He's
forward
a
to, I
highlight.
guess.
He was a pretty
Yeah,
good character.
he's in the next season, isn't he?
I think
Because
so.
Ralphie's
Must
out,
be.
so I'm assuming they're
Mhm.
gonna introduce.
Yeah, if he's not in season 4, then he'll be in season 5 at least. Then for like pretty much the whole season.
All
I
right.
guess my way to tease it would be get to the end of season 5 because there's
Yeah,
a
that's what I was just gonna
showstopper
say too.
moment that completely changes a lot of stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
that I don't
Say no
know.
more. I'll do it. I'll do
Other
it.
than that, yeah, I don't really know how to. Keep in
I've been
mind that season 6 is like 26 episodes or something like that.
Yeah,
It's not the
yeah.
normal 13. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
that I'm fine with. I wish that ad doesn't like every time it plays, I fast forward through it as fast as I can
yeah,
because
I
it's just
kind of pisses me off that
yeah.
Andy Greenwald would do that.
it's
I
so
mean,
crazy
like,
that he would. I mean, I get it's been out for like 20 some years, but like,
but even they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, I think. But even
yeah,
so, it's like, why would you? I don't know. If you're trying to get in other, like, if your ad is only targeting people who've seen the show before, then I guess
yeah,
good. But like, your ad is also targeting people who haven't seen the show.
right.
Right.
So it's like, why would you spoil the show for them?
Like
Like,
Right.
I've
that's
always
just
known the end of it is divisive, and like it's kind of like polarizing. Is it good? Is it bad? Did it stick the landing? And that's the whole point of his that podcast series that he's doing. That's why he mentions it. But like, don't put the in your ad. Don't put what the divisive thing is.
Yeah.
Is he doing a
Right.
podcast series like now?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he
That's what
hasn't
I've
done
heard.
The Sopranos yet,
And
but
that ad read, because I've heard that ad, and
yeah,
it's so fucking lazy, dude. I'm sorry,
it
but like
is.
the way he wrote it is like, did this happen or this happen? Did this?
Yeah,
It's like, dude, that's like shitty. Like how he brought, like how
yeah,
he said it too is like, come on, man. I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
It's like
I mean, is
disrespectful.
it a big spoiler? Like, is it? Don't tell me. Don't
I
tell
haven't
me.
even
I
seen the
just
ad, so I
I
don't
mean,
know
he.
what it actually is.
Just don't
I
tell me.
mean,
I'll get there.
it's
But
asking a question that you're gonna ask at the end.
yeah.
But like to me, the end was super satisfying. So don't let it tarnish
Okay.
it. Just kind of like,
I thought it
I
was
mean,
too. I
yeah,
liked the end,
I
and
was
we can all
expecting it
talk
too.
about it and stuff. You know, when you're done,
Yeah,
we can all
Yeah,
give our
I'd
takes.
love to finish it. Yeah, I've just been angry, spiteful at that ad.
fair enough.
I
I
take my
have I've
prestige
been
television very seriously.
yeah, that's fair. Me too. I have been watching The Wire a little bit here and there.
Hey,
I'm almost done with the first season now, so we're getting there. I like
hey.
it. It's
I
good.
The second season is the one season where like I watched it all in one day and I just kind of binged it from there.
I'm really hoping, not that the show has like issues a lot of the time, but it's kind of what The Sopranos does, where it just is like too many episodes and it's kind of like
Yeah,
slightly
I can see
overstaying its
that.
welcome. I'm kind of hoping the second season just picks up a little bit more, where it just
Yeah,
like keeps you going. But we'll see.
yeah, yeah. No, it's that one's. I need to rewatch that one just because I loved it. I watched it and I want to see if it was just how starstruck by the hype in that moment for myself.
Hmm.
But I've told a lot of people to watch it, and so far, two people, including you, so one and a half people have watched it.
Did the other person get through it?
Yeah, yeah, he really liked it. Yeah,
Okay. I have a feeling I'll come around to it the same way I did The Sopranos eventually. Just gotta
yeah.
keep digging.
The only reason I recommended it to him was because The Sopranos is his favorite show. So like, I was like, this is kind of like
Yeah, I'm glad he likes them too.
Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad. Those are like the standards for like great prestige television.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
definitely worth it.
Any other things to talk about? Anything else?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
think so.
good.
I haven't been watching too much. I've kind of had other shit going on.
Yeah.
You
Finished
guys
the
gotta
second
play
season of White Lotus, but that was.
Helldivers.
Oh
I've
yeah.
heard.
Yeah, I've
Gotta
heard it's
play
pretty
it.
good.
It's fun. But yeah. Well, anyways, thanks for listening this week, guys. We'll see you next week for more Coens and then another movie chest, whatever that may be.
Weekend at Bernie's too.
Hey, there
That's
I
not the
hope so.
that's not the movie chest.
Please, God, no.
Oh, fuck. Oh, one highlight of like just